I remember learning in my junior high school American history class about the pilgrims who were fleeing Great Britain for freedom of religion. I remember having a sense of romanticism about this country, and although I did not feel American, I loved the country that was rejecting me. I wasn't able to understand why I felt this way, I just knew that I was and that I wasn't American. Charles Davenport, one of the many proponents of eugenics, believed that he was doing a good thing by accelerating the natural evolution of society and weeding out the undesirable characteristics in the population. His methods, however, were pseudoscience and used subjective observation of certain physical traits to assign characteristics such as alcoholism and feeble-mindedness to a group of undesirables. It is jarring to know that the idea of purification of the race came from the US and then later was taken up by the rest of the world, including Nazi Germany. We have heard about how Hitler's Germany started eliminating the mentally disabled and non-productive citizens during World War II. I understand that in America, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants were fine with the immigrating of white Protestant Europeans, and then later had a problem with the immigration of others who were Catholic, Jewish, Irish, etc., and who did not speak English. The fear of the diluting of the Nordic race was a real one to the citizens of the 1920s in America. They would say, we need to build walls high enough to keep out the cheaper races, which puts me in mind of Donald Trump saying, we need to stop getting immigrants from shithole countries. It seems like the racist remarks of the 1920s are still alive today in 2019. Almost 100 years later, we can see the same ideas of race. It is interesting to know that white Americans today consider this country to be a Christian nation. Some are the same people who agree with the caging of immigrant children in our border cities, including the separation of children from families and denying asylum seekers baths, hygiene, bedding, and other basic comforts that are widely available to our incarcerated populations throughout the country. I wonder if Christian Americans remember what Jesus said about lowly people. He said, "What you do to the meekest of these, you do to me." History is replete with lessons. It is up to us to learn from them. Unfortunately, as we can see, historic education is not embraced. Bigotry and racism reign supreme now, as it did almost 100 years ago.